that on first go then. Jump away. Radio frequency. Yeah. Centre, g'day, Golf Romeo 516. We're on the ground, Canberra. You're handling departures out of Canberra today? Not exactly. Possibly. Well, we can keep setting up a few things in any event, can't we? Rivet. Cruise at 23,000. Go. Oh, they packed this up last time. Me, I think. One. Starting engine 2. Look at that. Must have been me shut this down, I'm sure of it. Everything's in the wrong place.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Captain and the entire crew would like to welcome you aboard. May I kindly ask you to fasten your seatbelts now, making sure they are pulled tight. And for your own safety, we recommend that you keep your seatbelts fastened during the entire flight. My name is Karen Sharp. I'm the purser on your flight today and do wish you a pleasant stay on board. You are welcome to use your own electronic equipment after takeoff when the fasten seatbelt signs above you have been switched off. The use of mobile phones is not generally permitted on board our aircraft, and therefore all mobile phones should be switched off completely at this time. Further details are available in your in-flight magazine, which you may find in the seat pocket in front of you. May we please remind you once more that you store heavy bags
g'day.
your front seats
You
and
took
not
off
in the
too
overhead
quickly.
compartments.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't shut it down properly, that's for sure. Absolutely for sure and certain. Okay, so the engine generators can go on.
Ladies and gentlemen,
the packs can go back to auto. APU bleed can go off, APU can go off.
First of all, we demonstrate how to fasten and unfasten your seatbelt. If there is a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will automatically drop from the cabin ceiling. If that happens, pull one of the masks.
That happens. Scream a lot.
And press the opening firmly over your nose and mouth. Then assist any children travelling with you. Your life jacket is under your seat.
I'm way too far away from it.
Please observe the following
Brisbane
demonstration.
Centre, somehow.
Pull the life jacket over your head. Attach the straps to the hook in front. Then pull the belt until it is tight. Just before you leave the aircraft, pull these red tabs to inflate your jacket. If necessary, use the rubber tubes to inflate it. Should you leave the aircraft through an emergency exit over the wings, do not inflate your jacket until you have left the aircraft.
I'll tell you what, if you leave the aircraft through an emergency exit over the wings,
when you pull the plug out of the battery,
at 23,000 feet, don't bother about any of the other safety requirements.
a note of the location of the 8 emergency exits, which are all identified by the word exit. Illuminated escape path markings will guide you to these exits, and please keep in mind that the next available exit might be behind you. If you have any further questions,
that's one thing I'm
please do not
certain I've
hesitate to
fixed
ask
now,
one of your flight
is the
attendants.
sound of that
Ladies and
that
gentlemen,
parking brake
we're
thing.
now ready for takeoff.
That's much better than it was. Used to sound like something that crashed into you.
Brisbane Centre, Q-Link 114, passing flight level 278 for 330.
Ooh. I can hear him, but I can't hear Brisbane Centre. Maybe everyone can hear me, but not Brisbane Centre.
Cabin is ready.
Thank you. Hey mate, the CNC stuff looks like it's coming along nicely, eh? Bloody awesome. Absolutely awesome by the look of it. Pardon me. What have I forgotten to do? Oh, I can't think of anything. Go. Accurately. Yes, awesome. Yeah. Yeah, why not? Oh yeah, so much stuff you can do with that stuff. No, I can't see anyone. Like there's a Brisbane Centre on. I've tried to contact him, but I think he's too far away.
Lee 1.
Right.
Sorry, San Antonio, Jets Alpha 59, Charlie,
Bravo 10.
cross 07 down to holding point B10.
Correct.
Just start off.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until the seatbelt fasten sign in front of you has been switched on. We also remind
The
you
sim,
that
yeah, I think the sim could do it on its own.
and smoking in the lavatories is strictly prohibited. The entire crew is wishing you a pleasant stay on board.
It's been a running joke. Been running a running joke for years. I learnt this off by heart years ago. Working on the sim and just always just needing a short flight that you can do, where you do every stage of flight without having to muck around, you know, programming it or whatever. I just absolutely just know it. It's kind of funny. Don't worry.
I just want to confirm that I'm departing a runway 16
As you-
right, since,
As you
going down
continue your sim building career,
20 down the other end of the runway.
you'll have your favourite little flight that you always do. That's just how it works, mate.
That's left. Acknowledged. Did start off. 9 thanks. Confirming 16 left, 72 departure, just start off.
That's what I do already. Well, there you go. You just need a single little flight that you can do, you know, or a circuit that you're used to doing. But sometimes if you're checking radios and stuff, if you're checking radios and what have you, you need the ATC, you know, so you need to do something that does the whole gambit. And yeah, you just need a short flight. I mean, not this particularly short, but it's short enough. But yeah, so the actual, while I've got you, the aircraft sounds and stuff, engine noises and that is okay. Like, you can hear me, you can hear the ATC and stuff, all right? No, that guy's actually a bit quiet. Good, thank you. Yeah, okay. Because I've been fiddling around with the audio today. With actually some of the sim sounds. And I wanted to make sure that they're not overpowering on the feed, because I've turned them up a bit in the sim, if you know what I mean. Okay. Yeah, it's actually really good in the sim now. I've just tried the speed brake and stuff, and yeah, the speed brake rumble and that is really good in the sim now. So what I've done is I've turned the actual amplifier, I've turned it up substantially. Then I've turned Karen's voice down, and not actually done anything with the volumes on the feed. So I was a bit worried that Karen's voice might not be loud enough on the feed. That's the first thing. And the other thing, I was worried that the other stuff might be up a little bit in the feed, because I fiddled with them within the sim sounds volumes, you know. So interesting what we'll hear on landing as well, you know, and also adjusted sounds for the flaps, you know, at each degree of flaps there's a different wind sound, you know. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Yeah, well, let's hope, because there's sounds that only occur on landing. Yeah, I've just said, well, nailed it, but there's some sounds that only occur when you land. So, I'm hoping I have nailed it actually, but it's sounding good in the sim. Probably the best it ever has, in fact. Just had a bit of a fiddle around today. But what I did, you know, the squeaking, I fixed that not long ago, about 3 weeks ago. I crawled underneath and just squirted it, covered it in like WD-40 and RP7 and all that sort of stuff. Steve, flight time. Hey Steve, flight time, well, we're just out of Canberra going to Sydney. So we'll be 46. We'll be in Sydney in about half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that. Yeah. It's not a long flight, I'm just testing some stuff. Yeah, so what I did today, to get rid of that squeak, I got a paintbrush. I got a paintbrush, like a round paintbrush, and taped it onto a long piece of dowel and dipped it in engine oil and climbed underneath and literally oiled all the squeaky bits underneath the sim with this oiled up paintbrush, you know, for all the stuff I couldn't reach. Anyway, it's a dream now, there's not a squeak in it. If you hear a squeak now, it's a mouse. Yeah, if you hear a squeak in the sim now, there's a mouse in here somewhere.
Sorry mate, we're going into Sydney. Have I messed up the departure arrival?
In true Aussie fashion, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, mate.
That's my apologies.
Yeah, as you would, you'd oil it up with a paintbrush sticky taped onto the end of a piece of towel. But it worked. It's worked like a dream. Because it was really annoying. The yoke here, when you're sort of really turning it, had this really annoying squeak, and a really, really high pitched squeak as well. The squeak just cut through. It just cut through every other bit of audio on the feed as well. And it made the sim look like a heap of rubbish. Because it just looked like, your sim goes squeak, 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 squeak when you move the yoke, you know.
209 miles left to right to track, course 193, thanks. Quarters 139. Quarters 139. Stuck there until it's like a 4 hour arrival, runway 19 left, pretty decent.
Look, you can. It's totally doable. Like it's dual controls in every way, but the visual system, is kind of geared a little bit for the left seat. But yeah, it's totally doable. And like Ramel just said, he does sometimes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now beginning our descent, and therefore we ask you to fasten your seatbelt again and bring your seat to an upright position. Please don't forget to switch off all your electronic equipment now. Thank you. If you have booked a connecting flight but don't have a boarding card yet, please proceed to any service counter immediately immediately after your arrival. Should you already have a boarding card, then go to one of the display boards in the airport and double-check your departure gates. If your luggage is already checked through to your final destination, you don't have to worry about it. It will be transferred automatically. For further questions, please feel free to ask the cabin attendants or our...
Oh, right. No, this one you can certainly, absolutely you can.
Which is direct at velocity 220.
Centec, Golf Romeo 516, so we're out of Canberra and inbound Sydney on descent. Are you handling approaches into Sydney today? Meaning? Squawks 4410, and we're just after an arrival too, if you got one. 516. That's Rivet 4 for 165, and when ready 10,000, Golf Romeo 516, cheers. Doing more than two things at once then. Must be part of me not male. Where are we?
He's in front of a 120, give it 116.
Right. Oh, look, I would have loved to have built me a 747-400 too, to be honest with you. When the time came to make the decision to build the sim, I had intended, at that time I was flying 747 PMDG 747 with Flight Simulator 10 and thinking that's what I was going to build, but the availability of parts was my main thing that talked me into a 7.3, and also limit yourself on what airports you can actually land a 747, or no, not land, but get out of, take off with from, with a 7.4. So that was my sort of logic at the time to go with the 7.3. How much did this sim cost? I can't answer that. My wife could be watching. Yeah, or listening. So, but it's a classic. It's a classic case of
just doesn't want to play ball at higher flight levels. Can I just drop down?
It sounds arrogant, but if you got to ask, you can't afford it. But I did build this one over many years and really analysed costs of things as it went along. I didn't just go and go, oh, here's $90,000, have a 737 delivered to my garage. It was a very deliberate and sort of planned process to make it on a budget, but even a tight budget for something like this is a fairly big budget. Let's say that. Flaps 30 for the landing. Just setting the inbound. Also just setting ILS frequency for the runway 109.5. I mean, there's so much right seat going on here that I'm doing his job as well. Steve?
Ready.
No, I've lost the plot. Totally lost the plot. Idiot. Bloody inbound course is what I was supposed to be setting there. Idiot. I feel like putting a bloody electric drill on this. Maybe you can do it. Right.
My apologies, it's actually direct to
Looks better.
Golf Romeo 516, Silver Star 6000, and 55 heading 55.
Send by the Star 6000 and fly heading 335 at Boogie for Golf Romeo 516. Yeah, end of the soup, exactly. Hey William, how you going? Welcome on board, as usual again.
And setting it again, Jetstar 460 clear to Silver.
What's happening? What's happening, William? Yeah, it's not too late to jump on Sydney Approach, William, you know that.
And Jetstar 460, negative on tax, we're calling from the Peter Silver. No, it's Jetstar 460 on my 16 of 56 departure, engine navigation code 3742, 49.
Is that 460 red back correct?
That's already pointed back to Jetstar 460, probably was about another 15 minutes. Send out Jetstar, Jetstar 459 passing through 2000.
Passengers fastened.
It's 459 climb by level 37. Correct.
Now, how could we hear that passengers fast on the feed then?
Jetstar 459.
Yeah, it was all right. Okay, good. Thanks, Ramel.
Setting fueling deployed for requesting further descent.
114 lead control area, sending
The control area is in the current order. Everything's really good.
About to go on heading select. You've got about 2 miles to run to Boogie, then we're going heading select and heading 335. Here we go.
It's 846 Delta Northeast. You got 1 2 City 70 now. The unit that was
Righto. Don't remember that being a radio, an official radio, bit of lingo that righto. This speed brake, the speed brake rumble is just beautiful now in the sim. Absolutely wonderful. Don't know why I'm bloody climbing again. Mental. Absolutely mental. Well, just in time for the big event. Just in time for Oz Flight. It'll make it more interesting if the sim's playing up. Yeah, Centre Golf Romeo 516, we're tracking 335, maintaining 6,000. Descend 3,000 to 516. Descend into Hamilton, haven't been there for a while. We're in the soup now, Ramel, that's for sure.
251, did you say? Something today on 325 through 390.
That's the other thing.
325, g'day, stand by. Just 251, I can't find you on my screen. Ah, right, that's right. You were. Yes, so just 251, control. So it's 1081, vehicle 122, this way.
Nah, and have a nice landing in Hamo. Have a nice landing in Hamilton for me.
Brisbane Centre, 139 with you again.
Wow, you're at the front's lovely at the moment.
Cheers. And decent by the start.
Nice time of day to be coming in, actually. Okay, Ramel, we're under the soup. And we're sailing out to God knows where. We're sort of heading north, don't we? We'll be in Hamilton Island in a minute before I get turned back. Have to put Erded back in my flight plan in a minute. Okay, I'm at 3,000. We're just cruising around at 3,000. Doesn't matter.
What is 862 with you, passing final 3,500, 5,000.
And we're well.
62.
I'll be struggling to find Sydney in a minute. Whee! I'll be able to do a Boree 4 arrival in a minute. No, I'm not enough.
3207 in the box, what is 862?
325.
I think I call myself Qantas 516 in a minute. More attention.
1325, you're cleared to Coolangatta by Buckingham Rooms. Mark up 380.
Clear to Coolangatta by planned route, climb 380.
Centre Golf Romeo 516, still tracking 335 and at 3,000.
Golf Romeo 516, flying heading at 0, correction 110. Clear to the ILS runway 16 right.
It's heading 110 and we cleared the ILS for 16 right. Pardon me, Golf Romeo 516. Or track director.
And Qantas 139, is that you?
Roger, Qantas
139, might be proceeding 737, clear to the ILS runway 19.
Twin line, cleared ILS, runway 19 left, thank you.
62, you're cleared, Coolangatta flight, level 350.
Lead final 350, minus 862.
The textbook landing, oh yes. Obviously you don't watch this enough.
Brisbane Centre, velocity 222, about
15, we said, right.
Yeah, no, well, I just want to say we're all counting on you. The textbook landing. Well, hang on. That's a good point you make. It's a good point you make. Because here's the textbook.
Just 459, contact me 133.0.
You'll see the textbook landing.
3.0, just after 59.
Is it landing on here? There you go. There's the textbook landing.
Brisbane Centre, g'day, Jetstar 459, passing through flight level 210 for 373.
That's the textbook landing. Bang. Yeah, I had that out last night.
Centre velocity 222 back with you.
It's the only thing I had out last night. Shut up, Tony.
2500.
A lot of dinging going on my phone.
2500.
Sort of like not now. Textbook landing. Got to be joking. I had actually got the book out last night because I had a, what was it, a hydraulic pump light come on, like a fail, and honestly didn't know how to deal with it, so I looked it up, and the silly thing just says turn it off. If the light comes on, just turn it off. You're not going to fix anything. Ah, it's bloody bubble gum Zeus. You drop in at just the right time. I'm just about to do a textbook. You're about to see a textbook landing. That remains, but yeah. About to see a textbook landing, apparently. No one's ever given any of my landings that label before. Perhaps a how not to do it landing. Yeah, textbook. Now it's a nice scenic approach.
Just 207.
Nice little sunset approach. You can see, you actually see the street lights coming on one at a time.
Just 207.
Now I think I've got everything right. Love to go under the bridge this time of day. Oh, there you go. Start switch is continuous, that would help. Someone should invent a checklist.
Beacon Center, Qantas 139. Are you aware if there's any air traffic controllers at Brisbane currently?
Google it.
Qantas 139 negative.
Right, there aren't any, or you're not aware?
And thank you for the 80s.
No worries. That takes you by choice. Qantas 1391 with 3140 at 1 off runway 19 left, clear to land.
It's 139, clear to land, 19 left.
Yeah, Centre Golf Romeo 516 has the localiser alive for 16 right.
Golf Romeo 516 with 190 knots, runway
6 right.
right, clear to land.
Clear to land 16 right, Golf Romeo 516. Here we go.
Qantas 193 request further descent.
See what happens here. So far so good. Landing gear should be down by now.
Descend once, 4,000.
Right, start 4,000, Qantas 193.
Oh yeah.
Contact
See,
193.
I'm all yearing about the sound effects in the sim. I don't know if you can hear them over the feed. I hope so, because they're awesome in real life here.
133.3.
Sort of been fiddling around with the sound effects here today. Try anything once. Got a minute to win it.
Sending it a Qantas
Textbook
193.
coming up. Hear that? No squeak. Hear that? No squeak. Not hear that?
Yeah.
Look at that. Look, Ramel, look. Not a squeak to be heard.
1,000.
715. Clear for the ILS runway 19 left, reports.
See that? I can bear wrestle all I like now, and you can't hear the squeak. Should stop bear wrestling while I'm trying to land. All for that old chestnut.
Minimums. Minimums.
Landing. Panic yet.
100.
Float. We're going to go thump halfway down.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
I think vertical speed at landing was probably a bit dodgy then, but we're here. You'd actually make it. Holy guacamole. Start the APU now.
Please do remain seated with your seatbelts fastened.
Yeah, it wasn't too smooth. There was a bit of a bump there, but
And the fasten seatbelt signs
we all survived at least.
Please leave yourself
And
in
what was
the
that?
switch raft
16,
until
right.
you have left the aircraft. Thank you. Captain
Vacate.
and the entire
Yeah.
crew would like to thank you for being our guests today.
Vacate onto
Say
Alpha.
goodbye to you now. We hope you've enjoyed the flight with us, and we
Yeah, it's
wish you a
hardly.
pleasant
Well, the
rest
textbook.
day,
Hang on, the
or
textbook
in case,
landed.
a nice onward journey. Thank you once again. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye bye, Karen. I'll have to have a chat to you, Ramel, in a little while.
All stations, Brisbane Centre is offline. Monitor Unicom 122 decimal K.
Chiming.
Thanks for your help, bro.
Yeah, thanks for the ATC, mate. Cheers. How and where? And thank you, linesman. Thank you, ball boys. How and where did you get the cockpit?
Canberra, woohoo.
Wow. Gee, that's a long story. Essentially, I built it over a period of time. Yeah, that's the easiest way to explain it. Yeah, it was built. It was built out of bits and pieces. It started out as a joystick on my coffee table, and ended up like this. That's sort of the simplified version of it. Is that's what happened. So what we're going to do now is shut it down. So we've got the APU running, the auxiliary power unit. It's a motor in the back of the plane, like a generator basically. We're going to get the bleed air now from the APU. Off. Just trying to do all this off the top of my head here. Should be able to by now. So really, get the power now from the APU, and that means we can add the bleed air from the APU, so we can shut the big engines down, which all we do is just bleed them of fuel. They're very simple animals, these things. If they've got fuel, they work. If they don't, they don't. Yaw dam can go off.
All
A
doors
couple of these
park
lights
and
and
cross-check.
shit things
Thank
can
you.
go off. And transponder can go to standby. Oh, how did you map all the buttons? Yeah. The smartest thing there, if you seriously want to get into this hobby, jump on YouTube and just see how people do it. But there's various ways to get simulator stuff working with your computer. So that basically, in very simple terms, it's like a card, a USB input-output card that allows you to turn an LED on and off, or to acknowledge a button being pushed, like a switch being flicked. Yeah, it's not rocket. Well, no, it is rocket science actually. But yeah. So I'd suggest hit up YouTube and type in how to make a simulator, and someone will tell you. All right, take care. Thank you, everyone. Been a great little flight and a very successful test of a few things in the sim. So there's a good point. These things evolve. You never sort of quite finish them. But yeah. Anyway, take care, and